The city's hospital today has reported 20 deaths and as many as 90 wounded. The IDF says the number of ground forces will rise in the coming days as they warn civilians to head south. Defense Minister Israel Katz today says the IDF is using an iron fist and that Gaza City is burning.
That's Fox's Alex Hogan. Secretary of State Marco Rubio left Qatar today, where he went after a 2-day visit to Israel. Rubio urged the Qataris to keep up a push for a Gaza ceasefire, despite the simmering anger over last week's Israeli airstrike in that country targeting Hamas. The Federal Reserve is about to start a 2-day meeting assessing the economy, expected to lead to an interest rate cut tomorrow. And Fed Governor Lisa Cook will be at the meeting. Still on the job, still resisting her dismissal, backed by an appeals court ruling.
The decision by the 3-judge panel from the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals denied the Justice Department's request to put on hold a judge's order temporarily blocking President Trump from firing Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. Cook, who was appointed by President Biden, has been accused of mortgage fraud, a charge she denies. It's the first time a president has tried to fire a member of the Federal Reserve Board since the central bank's founding in 1913. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Stephen Myron will also be at the Fed meeting the day after the Senate confirmed the chair of the White House Council of Economic Advisors as a Fed governor. On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed the day after record highs for the NASDAQ and S&P 500. On Monday Night Football, Tampa Bay beat Houston on a last-minute touchdown 20-19, and then the LA Chargers topped Las Vegas 20-9. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
It is a Tuesday morning, September 16th, 2025. Appreciate you waking up with News Talk 710 KURV. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz, and we got AccuWeather and meteorologist Jason Caterina. He's on standby, should be joining us in about 3 minutes. In Texas news, the killing of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk has kickstarted new investigations into dangerous and deadly leftist rhetoric at some universities.
The state's Republican leadership is putting a spotlight on the political extremism that's bubbled to the surface. A select committee has been charged with investigating the dangerous rhetoric that's coming out of colleges.
How anybody can defend a political assassination is beyond me, but it's occurred.
State Senator Paul Betancourt says the goal is to find a way to protect the fundamental right of free speech on college campuses. That includes making political gatherings safe and secure.
That's reporter Michael Board. Here's Chris Fox on work in Austin. 2 new select committees that have been formed by Republican leadership and the legislature to honor the legacy of slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
The new State House and Senate select committees are tasked with issuing reports on bias, discourse, and freedom of speech issues across Texas college campuses. The 2 committees on civil discourse and freedom of speech in higher education will meet jointly. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick called Charlie Kirk a friend and called the attack on him an attack on the First Amendment. State House Speaker Dustin Burrows said this disturbing reality of Kirk's murder underscores the urgency of creating these committees. New laws regulating college campus protesting are currently being challenged in the courts. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
You likely saw it online if you go on X and Facebook, Instagram, and an Edinburgh mural that was painted in memory of Charlie Kirk was vandalized this past weekend. The artist who created it saying he'll retouch it and bring it back to its original state. At 7:07 on the Valley's Morning News. Texas students might soon be spending more time learning about America and Texas than international themes.
The Texas State Board of Education approved a new social studies framework on Friday that emphasizes Texas and U.S. history while reducing lessons on world history and cultures. Supporters are saying the plan's chronological story-based approach will help students analyze historical patterns. Critics worry it fragments instruction and downplays world cultures. The board plans to finalize new social studies standards by June of this next year.
It's 7:08 on the Valley's Morning News, and U.S. firms are pledging to invest over $1.5 billion in the UK ahead of President Trump's visit today.
The president and first lady, Melania Trump, will arrive in London on Tuesday for a 3-day official state visit. Ahead of the trip, the British government has announced private investments worth over $1.5 billion in the UK's financial services sector. The investments are expected to create about 1,800 jobs in London, Edinburgh, Belfast, and Manchester. U.S. firms making the investments include Bank of America, PayPal, and S&P Global. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
And there's a new study showing that many people don't realize they have diabetes, according to a new write-up in Lancet. 44% of people who have diabetes don't even know it. It's 7:08. It's AccuWeather time, and I want to say thank you to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch providing us AccuWeather. Martin Farm and Ranch, certified leader for Purina liquid feed. AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina is joining us. Any chance of rain for today? I don't see much written up here. What do you think?
Yeah, the moisture is going to drop down today, so I think the chances will be a bit less for us, but not to say that there's not going to be a very spotty shower around somewhere, but the chances really drop out today and then fire back up over the next couple of days with a few disturbances moving through, a bit of that onshore flow and the available moisture in the atmosphere, what we call the precipitable water, cranking back up over the next couple of days.
Okay. And you would peg the chance of rain starting to, because you put the chance of rain, thunderstorms tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, going to Saturday. What would that be? Like what, 20, 30%? Just let's see who gets it or what?
Yeah. It'll be like that, like the 30, 40%, it'll be here and there, looking at the readings from yesterday, it was super, super spotty. Like a couple of areas got a little bit, but it's pretty far and few between right now.
We see some stuff offshore. Ain't moving much, kind of like sitting there.
It's coming a little eastward, but that's up toward Corpus Christi mostly, and just south of Corpus Christi right now.
The tropical, the hurricane computers for the Gulf, anything next 2 weeks?
No, nothing in the Gulf. They are starting to fire back up out in the Atlantic, though. They've got 2 possible systems potentially going out in the far Atlantic, but nothing for us in the Gulf.
All right, pal. So highs today, what, a little bit more cloud cover? Are you keeping it in the 90s, or why is it?
Yeah. Low to mid 90s today.
Yeah.
That's going to be kind of the case for much of the rest of the week. Even Saturday, I know I said mid and upper 90s on, Saturday's forecast, but it's going to be like the low end of the mid 90s and the low end of the high, like 93 to 97.
As you throw some extra clouds around here for rain over a few days. All right. So on the menu for today, let's see here. We want to say good morning to all the IT nerds out there. Who's our IT nerd around here, Freddie? Eric. All right, that's right. You're not showing up around until like noontime or 1 p.m. with an attitude, right? A real bad attitude. I'm kidding. He's actually a sweet guy. He's a jack of all trades. Eric, he does everything around here. Let's see. Voter registration day today. And cinnamon raisin bread is on the menu. Oh, my goodness. Fresh out of the toaster. Put some butter on it. Ooh,
I'm making French toast out of that.
Yeah. Cinnamon raisin bread. How about put some guacamole on top? How about that? Mix it up. Sweet, salty. No? Freddie says no. It's a National Guacamole Day today as well. You ever make some guacamole, Jason?
I've made it, but I don't really eat it. It's weird. Like I've got like the palate of like a 5-year-old. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
I had a friend years ago. No, I better not say what it tasted like to him. It's just the consistency.
That's it for me. A lot of things is the texture of food.
Yeah.
I'm a very textural eater. If it's got that mushy texture to it.
Yeah. That's
bananas. I love the taste of bananas. Can't eat them because they're like paste.
Mushy.
Oh.
I
love them.
Yeah. Well, producer Freddie, by the way, if you'd like the recipe for the Fred Cruz guacamole, send us a quick text over to the KURV WhatsApp at 956-862-2482. It's an awesome recipe, the Fred Cruz guacamole. He'll send it to you. WhatsApp for KURV 862-2482. All right, Jason, call you next hour.
All right, see you in a bit.
That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina. 710 KURV. It's a little bit of inside joke. If you missed the conversation toward the end of last hour, you would have gotten the recipe. It's pretty easy to remember. Time is 7:13 on News Talk 710 KURV. For the first time, the entire U.S. Constitution is being put on public display at the National Archive Museum in Washington.
It's a rare opportunity for visitors to view all 4 pages of the historic document, all 27 amendments, and the rarely seen 5th page. That was signed by George Washington, which details how each state would ratify this new Constitution. The exhibit coincides with Constitution Day later this month and the lead up to America's 250th anniversary. The display at the National Archives runs through October 1st. I'm Rory O'Neill.
7:14 on News Talk 710 KURV. Valley's morning news for a Tuesday. The study of economics from a UTRGV perspective. A conversation I had with a good friend from the university, yes, who is teaching economics and has been watching the local economy for about 15 years. That's next on the Valley's morning news.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com.
Experience everything Bert Ogden Cadillac in Edinburgh has to offer. Service, selection, and quality. Indulge yourself with bold design and step into EV luxury and take advantage of a $7,500 tax credit in a new Cadillac Lyriq. Now just $559 per month. More style, more innovation, more you. Make your move. Set yourself apart and discover a new standard of luxury ownership. Visit us online at BertOgdenCadillac.com or come in today to Bert Ogden Cadillac in Edinburgh, official sponsor of UTRGV football. Dale gas!
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call on the Cal at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
Brian Kilmeade here, inviting you to tune in weekday mornings starting at 9 for The Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez on News Talk 710 KURV and KURV.com.
You're in tune with the Valley's morning news on News Talk 710 KURV. This note is coming in from Hollywood. Actor Robert Redford has passed away. You'll be hearing more information on our Fox newscast coming up in a few moments. News Talk 710 KURV is home to Houston Astros baseball. They're pretty much in the playoffs right now. Everybody fighting to try to win the West. Astros, Rangers, the Mariners, Astros, and Rangers tonight. 6:40 on News Talk 710 KURV, made possible by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. Big thank you to the Mission Economic Development Office. From UTRGV, or School of Business, the Vacker School of Business, I think it's the College of Business and Entrepreneurship. Our friend Dr. Salvador Contreras, professor of economics, joining us in-house. And you look at the economy from the Eagle's perch, I suppose we could look at national, state, valley, amazing times we live in here in South Texas. Let's start with the valley. And from the Eagle's perch, what you see going on here in South Texas? I know you've been doing the professor thing for many, many years, doing some research on economic activity. So tell me your opinion, assessment of what's taking place in South Texas right now, our economy.
Hi, Sergio. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Sorry, I haven't been able to get here earlier, but I'm here now.
Glad you're here.
So, look, the South Texas economy is doing quite well, as it is most of Texas. Texas has, for many sort of have aligned to help Texas economically. Many firms are moving to Texas. We hear here in the RGV about companies like SpaceX, for example.
Yeah,
we're setting up shop here. So I think things are good. Things are looking bright for the South Texas economy. Texas in general is looking pretty strong. I mean, just look around. Look at all the sort of construction going on, expansion of freeways, or at least redoing them, housing construction. There's quite a bit of activity that one would point to and say, hey, you know what? There's some economic activity, positive economic activity going on.
Yeah. How many years you been over at the university looking at business issues, teaching economics, all that?
I've been here 16 years.
Okay. So yeah quite quite the trek from the 2010s to around now
Yeah.
to see the evolution. Most of what is happening in Texas, would you say, is a result of good policy in Texas or bad policy in other places, for that matter? And just like you said, the stars aligning where
Yeah.
we go back to traditional fuels, advocating for that. Of course, high tech and how the market is available to host high tech from all over the place.
I think there's a number of combinations of the two. It's helped that Texas has been quite friendly to businesses. Businesses have decided to move to Texas, one, to capture a very large market. Second, to benefit from lower tax rates.
When we say, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
don't mean to interrupt, but we hear that quite a bit. Well, Texas is business friendly. How is Texas business friendly? Is it taxation, regulation, restrictions that are
I
loosened
think
up
so.
around here?
It's a number of these sort of these activities. It's probably easier than in other states to open up a business, to operate it, to find workers, to find skilled workers, and the like.
Dr. Salvador Contreras from UTRGV, our business school, as a professor of economics, is there a future in the study of economics?
Of course.
Yeah.
Economics is a very old field.
Yeah. Who would hire someone who becomes an economics major? Because we're looking at, is it innovating? Is it changing? Is it evolving? Where it requires the application of human theory and thought versus what AI seems to just spit out. Like it could do it much faster, whether it comes to financial documents, accounting, things like that. Like, or is the pursuit of an economics career, economics degree, worth it, do you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
The short answer is yes.
Where would they wind up? Where would they wind up? Do you see them?
So most students who study economics end up as analysts if they do an undergraduate, for example, of some kind, data analysis, looking at policy questions, looking at functions within a firm, for example. Imagine that you're in Amazon and you're wondering about pricing, product placement, the timing, how products are displayed to potential people who are browsing the websites. So all these sort of questions are things that economists would look into. And depending on sort of if you have an undergraduate or graduate, PhD in economics, it will sort of determine where you end up at.
Economics would need to be complemented by an ability to read financials, I would imagine, in order to be a top economist, to be useful to industry or politics or government, if they need to think. Because George Rogarty, our leader at the business school, was saying that the future is in business and analytics, business analytics. So it's much more than just studying theory and economics, but you need to know what the accountants are able to read, what the finance majors are able to read, the financials.
Yeah, and then so that's basically my talk from my first day of class. I say that economics is every field that you can think about, accounting, history, mathematics, political science. It's every field, but economics just simply offers a framework to sort of like view the world, to make sense of it.
10-4. You used to run, it was the Center for Border Studies.
Border Economic Studies.
Border Economic Studies. That was a few years back. And that you were the head. There's somebody else who's leading that right now. But that gave you, I think, an enviable advantage over many people to truly be able to point to the changes and the growth in the South Texas, Northern Mexico economy. Where do you see our economy going from this point onward in Southern Texas and in Northern Mexico? Because there's a lot of talk about reshore or onshore, bring them back to the U.S. And then there's always this tug of war between, well, we need more juice, more power. We got high tech that we can host, all those things. Like where would the South Texas and the Texas economy be, let's say, in about 10 years in your mind?
That's a great question. Yeah. So I started off saying that the Texas economy, that the RGV looks quite robust today.
Yeah.
But you're asking me 10 years from now.
Yeah.
It's tough to say. It's really hard to say.
Because it's based on politics?
Well,
and
it's
policy,
based on a whole kinds of things. So we currently see this trade war going on. Mexico's clearly being affected. A number of goods come in back and forth through the U.S.-Mexico border or U.S.-Texas border. And so what happens in that space is going to have an impact on this region. Not only that, but just sort of like in general, how Mexican economy does, it has an impact on the type of Mexicans who can come into the UTRGV and spend money here by consuming all sorts of goods.
Do you find it amazing that, for example, we have the gang here at McAllen, the mayor and everybody else pointing to bridge crossing numbers that have tanked. I mean, if they're down like 20%, 25%, yeah, you can say they've tanked. They really have gone down. But the sales numbers are north of last year by 3-4. Mission is up like 5%.
Yeah.
So that's got to be like a labor thing. Because I got guys at Border Patrol saying, you know what it is? It's the Monday through Friday, like the care providers, construction workers, the people, lawn people that are coming, that are no longer coming on a daily basis. That's the difference in traffic Monday through Friday. But the shoppers, they're still coming. I find that very interesting. And we do hear the stress on construction, like the Home Builders Association. They were telling us that they were behind on some of the builders were behind on their projects because of the stress on labor. You got local mayors that were the outcry for them a few days back. They got together and said, well, we got to do something about this. We got the jobs. We can host them. But I don't see any of that changing in Washington under this administration. So I guess the labor pains will likely continue in several industries here in South Texas for a while, at least the next couple of years.
It's not just South Texas, just the U.S. overall. The labor market has changed somewhat. It's not the same one that it was, say, 2 years back. After the pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs. And then there was this massive resurgence. Employers couldn't find enough workers. And at the same time, we had immigration sort of like filling a void. And now we're seeing sort of a reverse. There appears to be some slowdown. At the same time, a large number of workers are being shipped out of the U.S. And so it's somehow bringing this like balance, but sort of not a good balance, because you lose jobs, but you're also losing the workers. So on average, you still have a very low unemployment rate, and so it might be masking some deeper structural changes to the U.S. labor market.
Dr. Salvador Contreras, professor of economics, UTRGV. Wages. Do you think they will change? Obviously, if you have to hire domestically, it's going to cost you a little more in order to bring that talent in. So wages is one of those sticky issues that might be going up, creeping up near future, eventually affecting prices across the board, right? Do you see it? Do you see it that way as an economy?
Wages. So after the pandemic, so go back to the pandemic. Pandemic was actually, you might not remember it now, but it was actually quite disruptive to the global economy, not just the U.S., but it was quite disruptive. What happened after the pandemic, after these massive amounts of trillions of dollars of stimulus that came in from all directions, people could not satisfy their demand for goods. And so firms went on a hiring binge to be able to supply all these goods and services that people wanted. And so wages, as you mentioned, just skyrocketed.
Yeah.
So it's not today, but a couple of years ago, you would have gone, maybe less so in the RGV, but in other parts of Texas, you could see signs outside of the shop that says $15 an hour, apply, entry level, or $16 or $17 an hour. You don't see that as much now, in part because the labor crunch, the tightness of the labor market is not as it was a couple of years back. So yes, workers are a little bit more expensive, but not to the extent that they were offset after the rebound from the pandemic.
And let's just focus on Texas. Can Texas absorb somehow the demand for jobs, like fill those positions? I see multi-pronged effort from South Texas College, from the university. We got Texas A&M setting up that training center at the port. We have these adult high schools that are popping up all over the place, funded by the state of Texas for free, people 18 to 50, saying, become a welder, become a truck driver, become an electrician, like pivot, whatever it is you're doing, pivot into a career that is in high demand will probably get you a six-figure salary. It's going to take a while, 12, 18, 24 months. But can Texas, you think, absorb all these jobs that are coming here? Because right now we're erecting stuff. We're building stuff. At some point, we'll need the engineers being turned out by UTRGV for LNG, for other sciences and disciplines as well. So what do you think? Are you bullish, positive that Texas can absorb all these jobs that are coming here by the thousands right now?
For sure. We have the population. The unemployment rate, even though it's low, other measures of the of the labor market are not as good. So there's a lot of people who are underutilized, working part-time because they cannot find a full-time job, for example. Or people who are marginally attached to the labor market simply because the wages that you point to are just not really that good to convince you to go into the labor market.
So that portion of the labor force may find it to their advantage to take advantage of these training opportunities left and right and pivot to something that is in high demand in the next 12, 18, 24 months.
So as somebody who works for a post-secondary education institution, I can always tell you that, yes, you should get more training.
Absolutely. We accept checks and credit cards for tuition. Come on in. Yeah. But yeah, there seems to be an effort to try to get all those jobs, especially like at the port. We have thousands of jobs now. And
look, the more skills you have, the more marketable you are in the labor market. And if indeed we have a weakening labor market, then you want to stand out. And the only way you stand out is by being able to say that I have more skills than the next person on the
Come over to
list.
UTRGV, study economics. You can become an economist and a welder at the same time. Just South College right there, UTRGV over here. Good to see you, Doc.
Of course.
All right,
Thank you for having
stop
me.
by anytime.
Yes.
That's Dr. Salvador Contreras from our UTRGV Business School. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. This check of some of the headlines, a service of UTRGV and Edinburg CISD. Edinburg Schools are collegiate high school, currently enrolling freshmen and sophomore students. For information, call 956-289-2300. Perhaps folks at economic development in the area should be picking up the phone, making a phone call to what College Station said no to. College Station will not be the site of a big data center project. City Hall said no to selling 200 acres for $30 million to Midland-based Priority Power Management. The company had planned to build a 600 megawatts data center at College Station. And this note from Houston, a pharmaceutical giant plans to build a huge manufacturing facility northeast Houston. The proposed $6 billion investment by Eli Lilly would create a 236-acre campus and produce ingredients for some of the more popular Eli Lilly medicines. The facility could bring more than 600 full-time six-figure jobs to Metro Houston. My goodness. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV, your station for Houston Texan football, Houston Astros baseball. Check of sports up next.
Spotlight on your health. Brought to you by DHR Health.
From the Transplant Institute at DHR Health, Dr. Hector Salcedo Crespo.
We started a kidney transplant program back in 2017. Hopefully this year will be the year that we start providing liver transplant care to our patients. Living donor transplantation is better than cadaveric donor transplantation. An organ from a living donor usually lasts longer, almost twice as long as a kidney from someone who has passed away. And also that helps the patient because usually there is like a 5-year waiting time for a cadaveric organ, and having a living donor organ or kidney helps the patient bypass that waiting time, and they do much better. We do a thorough evaluation of the recipient and the donor to make sure they are compatible. Most of the kidney transplants that we do here and in the United States are from cadaveric donors. Like 1 out of 5 will be a living donor. We're trying to promote living donor kidney transplantation because, again, a living donor kidney does much better. He's one of the safest surgeons out there. The recovery time for the donor is about 2 days in the hospital and a couple of weeks where they have some discomfort, but then after that, they're almost back to normal. They need to avoid some heavy lifting and certain activities for 3 months, but some patients go back to desk work like after a few days. Kidneys will last about 9 years. Living donor kidneys last about 15 years or more. High blood sugar and high blood pressure, those are the two most common causes of kidney failure. Well, we're the only center in the valley that provides this care. We do have special preservation solutions, machines, so the kidney can work properly when the kidney is outside the body. We have an advanced OR staff and equipment so we can perform this delicate surgery.
From the DHR Health Transplant Institute, Dr. Hector Salcedo Crespo, DHR Health.
This has been Spotlight on Your Health, brought to you by DHR Health. For you, for life.
Introducing the newest destination for luxury in the Rio Grande Valley, the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen. Come visit Michael Fall, General Manager, today and discover the perfect blend of elegance and power at the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen. A true triumph of luxury, now open at their exceptional new state-of-the-art location at 8522 West Expressway 83 in Harlingen. We shop the competition so you don't have to. Dale gas!
A Texas Showdown. Your Houston Astros host the Texas Rangers, y'all. Tune in tonight. First pitch at 7:10. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women, Mission Economic Development Corporation, and News Talk 710 KURV.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
I'm Trevor Beck with your TSN Sports Minute. Astros and Rangers clashed last night, and some heroics from young Zach Cole pushed the Stros to victory.
1-2. And Cole hammers it deep to right. Garcia is back at the wall, looking up. See you later! Zach Cole, his second big league homer, is a go-ahead 2-run shot. 4-3 Astros.
Houston gets the victory 5-3, and the Astros and Rangers go again tonight at 7:10. I'm Trevor Beck with your TSN Sports Minute.
Monday night doubleheader. Baker Mayfield led an 11-play, 80-yard drive, ending with Rashad White's 2-yard touchdown run with 6 seconds left to give the Bucs the 20-19 win over the Texans. Not a happy birthday for Pete Carroll as the Chargers crushed the Raiders 20-9. Justin Herbert threw a pair of touchdowns in the win. Chargers linebacker Khalil Mack left the game in the first quarter with an elbow injury. Several quarterbacks dealing with injuries. Bengals Joe Burrow out at least 3 months with a toe injury. Vikings J.J. McCarthy out 2 to 4 weeks with a high ankle sprain. Jets Justin Fields in concussion protocol. Phillies beat the Dodgers in 10 to clinch their second straight NL East title. That's sports. I'm Ronza Moss.
710 KURV, Accu with a forecast. So highs today should be mid-90s. And tomorrow and the day after that, better chance of rain, says AccuWeather. Border Bridge, wait times. B&M Bridge, Brownsville, an hour and a half. It's an hour at Gateway and an hour at the Veterans Bridge. And if you're driving back to McAllen, let's see here. Driving back to McAllen. Latest numbers from them, Hidalgo Bridge reporting 30 minutes and 30 minutes at San Luis. Got business news, check of your money. That's next on 710 KURV. Join us at Radio Panami. Download that free app and listen on your smartphone.
Come into Volvo Cars Edinburgh today and find the Volvo that's right for you. Shop from over 40 new and certified pre-owned Volvos today. Get comfortable in the incredible new 2025 Volvo XC60 with all new technology and innovation that makes the Volvo brand stand out from the rest. Lease one today for just $4.99 a month. We shop the competition so you don't have to at Volvo Cars Edinburgh, official sponsor of UTRGV football. Dale gas!
With all the summertime refreshments that we enjoy, sometimes those ice cubes, if it's not quality water, those ice cubes will ruin the drink. If it's not quality water, man, that sweet tea or that lemonade, it's just not going to taste as good. Why don't you call Culligan today and get your own water purification system at your house, like the one Deli and I have, and we love that Culligan water purification systems. The system has state-of-the-art filters, cleaning up all that water coming in from the city. And again, compliments to All these folks at public utilities across the valley, you guys do a good job cleaning up the water, but we all prefer the taste of bottled water. It's purified water. That's the misnomer, is the bottled water, because I know you don't like the taste of the bottle. I'm talking about the plastic. Just call Culligan. Purify that water coming in. Purify all the water going over to the ice box. You get some perfect ice cubes, nice and clean and taste awesome. And the lemonade always tasting awesome. And that spout of yours, constant stream of purified water any time of the day or night. Get a tall glass, 3 o'clock in the morning, like I do, to start the day. Call Culligan. Get that water purification system, state-of-the-art system, for only $35 a month. Call Culligan at 956-399-1780.
At Rivetta's Machinery in Donna, they're bringing the best deals on Coyote equipment to your job site, your farm, or your backyard. Right now, take advantage of 0% interest or up to $6,000 cash back on Coyote track loaders and skid steers. These are machines built for maximum performance no matter the task. But don't stop there. They're also offering fantastic savings on Coyote tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. And whether you're hauling something, mowing, tackling other big jobs, Coyote has the equipment to help you get it done. If you're looking for great deals and great service from a team that treats you like family, look no further than Rivetta's Machinery and Coyote. Start your next project right. Visit Rivetta's Machinery in Donna or browse their deals when it suits you at mynewtractor.com. That's their website, mynewtractor.com. Rivetta's for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
Come experience larger-than-life luxury and design at Bert Ogden Infiniti in Edinburgh. You're invited to come in and choose from a great selection of new Infinitis available now. Drive off in your own 2025 Infiniti QX60 with 0% APR for 60 months. All available with the Infiniti Premium Care Maintenance Plan for 3 years. Experience luxury as it's meant to be at Bert Ogden Infiniti on the corner of Alberta and Expressway 281 in Edinburgh. Shop from the entire line of Infinitis online at BertOgdenInfiniti.com.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. A CNBC survey reports that 82% of respondents say President Trump's actions related to the Federal Reserve amount to an effort to limit or eliminate the central bank's independence. Those actions, according to the majority, will result in weaker growth, higher inflation and unemployment, and a lower value for the dollar. A federal appeals court has ruled that President Trump cannot fire Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook before the central bank's policy committee votes on whether to lower interest rates. The ruling means that Cook can participate in the two-day meeting starting this morning. Tesla shares have rallied back from a dismal first quarter and are now up for the year. Since bottoming in April, following President Trump's announced plan for new tariffs, the stock is up 85%. The stock gained yesterday after CEO Elon Musk revealed the purchase of about $1 billion in Tesla shares. Futures are currently mixed. Monday, the Dow Industrials gained 49, the NASDAQ up 207. That's your money now.
AccuWeather says highs today, mid-90s. And AccuWeather says moisture is reduced, so the chance of rain not that great. Better chance tomorrow and the next day, says AccuWeather. Right now, temperatures mostly upper 70s. Thank you for joining us on News Talk 710 KURV. This is the Valley's Morning News. And up next, the latest from Fox News. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. It's in the name. Waterproofing. Precisely what you need for the present commercial sites that you have. Waterproof them. Trust the knowledge, the expertise. Chamberlain, 125 plus years of experience. They know all the different types of commercial roofing systems, the materials that goes into that, the superior workmanship that you're looking for. If you have a new building that's going up soon, man, you should do yourself a favor and start that conversation with Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. Show them the plans that you guys can decide on the superior workmanship and the materials to make sure that rain doesn't leak, that roofing system of yours doesn't leak on you next time it rains around here. Call Chamberlain Roofing, Waterproofing, and it's a free conversation. And for the present sites that you have, What you need to know is how much more time you have before water coming down at you is going to be an issue. And they can do that for free at Chamberlain. Chamberlain Roofing, waterproofing, state-of-the-art, cutting-edge roof installation and repair technology. And hey, look at that. It's in the name. Advanced waterproofing solutions. You need them. And it's a free conversation, a free inspection, free report of what you have right now. Call or text Chamberlain Roofing, waterproofing now, 956-655-6178.
Introducing the newest destination for luxury in the Rio Grande Valley, the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen. Come visit Michael Fall, General Manager, today and discover the perfect blend of elegance and power at the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen. A true triumph of luxury, now open at their exceptional new state-of-the-art location at 8522 West Expressway 83 in Harlingen. We shop the competition so you don't have to. Dale gas!
Do you remember your first time? Oh, I remember mine like it was yesterday. The look, the feel, the way my heart started racing the moment I laid eyes on her. Dad took me to Glick Twins right before white wing dove season. I got to pick out my very first shotgun. And in South Texas, that's when you become a man. I wasn't just white wing hunting. I was building my favorite memories. And now it's my turn to raise them right. Make memories that last. Gear up for white wing season at Glick Twins, where first times become family traditions.
Pain management specialist Dr. Dennis Slavin on severe recurring headaches.
Headaches are very common and have many different causes. They range from being a nuisance to severely incapacitating, where the headaches are interfering with family, work, and enjoying life. If your headaches have become severe and occur 15 days or more a month, a new FDA treatment I have may help you. Botulinum toxin, or Botox, is now FDA approved for the treatment of migraine headaches. Botox is applied to specific target areas that have been mapped after years of research to be triggers of migraine headaches. This treatment is safe, office-based, and is covered by most insurances, including Medicare. Botox not only makes you look better, but now, in my office, in under 15 minutes, Botox can make you feel better. Patients are amazed by the pain relief. They wonder why they waited so long to be feeling better at last.
Learn more about feeling better at last by signing on to feelingbetteratLast.com or call Dr. Slavin 973-0565.
News, traffic, weather, sports.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
It is the Tuesday edition of the Valley's Morning News. It's September 16, 2025. Along with show producer Fred Cruz and AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina, I'm Sergio Sanchez, and we start the morning upper 70s. Highs today should be mid-90s. News on 710 KURV is a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. He's accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk, and at 5 p.m. Eastern, Tyler Robinson will listen to the state charges against him, which could include aggravated murder that carries with it the possibility of the death penalty. FBI Director Kash Patel on Fox's Hannity.
We've collected information where, through witness interviews from the FBI and local law enforcement, that he essentially admitted after the shooting and assassination of Charlie Kirk, the suspect admitted to it.
Robinson will appear virtually. President Trump and the First Lady arrive tonight in the United Kingdom.
Over the next few days, we are going to see the biggest state visit that King Charles has ever held. The very first time that a U.S. president has been given 2 state visits. We're also going to be seeing quite a lot of trade deals as well.
Fox's Benjamin Hall in London. The president will lay a wreath for the late Queen Elizabeth tomorrow. Then on Thursday, he meets the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. America's listening to Fox News.
Big tech data centers in Texas, putting a strain on the power grid.
In Texas and parts of the mid-Atlantic, officials are considering rules that could temporarily cut electricity to large data centers during peak demand. The move aims to prevent blackouts as energy use spikes faster than new power plants can come online. Tech companies are watching closely, installing backup generators or agreeing to voluntary reductions, while regulators debate how to balance reliability with business investment.
Governor Greg Abbott recently directed the Department of Public Safety to strictly enforce English language proficiency requirements for all commercial truck drivers in Texas. Is that having any effect on the industry?
It appears it's not having a big effect on the shortage of drivers. That's the word from John Esparza. He's the president of the Texas State Truckers Association. He says for Texas truckers and for those driving in from Mexico, being able to read and understand English is extremely important.
There's just a level of comfort that you need. And for moving freight at 80,000 pounds in the United States, that is understanding and having some English proficiency so that you can traverse our state safely.
Since the governor issued the order, DPS has taken action on hundreds of drivers for their English proficiency. Most of those were drivers holding licenses from Mexico.
Happy Guacamole Day. Happy Guacamole Day. Producer Fred Cruz has a very unique recipe for guacamole, by the way. If you would like that recipe, you should send us a message to the KURV WhatsApp, 956-862-2482. And Producer Freddie will share that recipe with you. 862-2482, WhatsApp at 710-KURV.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic, available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
As a KURV listener, you like to be informed, keeping up with information that is relevant to your life, your pocketbook, your health. Appreciate you. Port of Brownsville has a website and a newsletter that they would like to share with you. And as an information-minded individual, keeping up with the economy here in South Texas, go to the portofbrownsville.com website, sign up for the free newsletter, and man, we've got a tsunami of great news at the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville. They're deepening the port. That means big ships in the future. I don't know, maybe some cargo container traffic. From agriculture to steel, the resource in northern Mexico. It's, the Port of Brownsville is like the Port of Monterrey, Mexico. With the industrial north, Saltillo, Monterrey. Yeah, all the steel, a lot of the steel that comes through the area goes to Monterrey and all the international factories out there to produce consumer products. Portofbrownsville.com is the website. It is the economic engine of the Rio Grande Valley. Be in the know. That big news, billions of dollars more coming to the area. You'll be the first to know. Maybe it's a career opportunity or an investment opportunity. Go to the website, portofbrownsville.com. When you get to your desk, portofbrownsville.com. Sign up for the free newsletter.
Come into Genesis of Harlingen today and soak up the feeling of the dynamic yet elegant design and cutting-edge technology that makes up the amazing Genesis vehicle lineup. Visit today and choose from a great selection like a 2026 Genesis GV70 for $549 a month for 36 months. Come see where refined sophistication meets powerful innovation at Genesis of Harlingen at 8521 West Expressway 83 in Harlingen. Shop from the entire line of Genesis online at genesisofharlingen.com.
Hi there, my name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile-long track out here.
Summer is heating up, and so is our local economy. From sizzling business deals to community connections, News Talk 710 KURV and the Radio Potami app are here to keep you in the know. Download the Radio Potami app to stay informed and entertained. Whether it's local market updates, summer events, or the weather, we've got you covered. Support local, stay connected, and tune in to the pulse of Rio Grande Valley business. News Talk 710 KURV and the Radio Potami app, where local business